you guys got to check on the chat. I dropped in Discord pretty much what was the results from last month. So going over in terms of the beauty of trading like this in terms of in terms of like on spot, you get to take advantage of pretty much everything that's going on. So you get to take advantage of the ups, you get to take advantage of the downs, you get to take advantage of like pretty much the movements of the market, right? And that's what it's all about. But altogether, 1100% gain, with OGM being the best performer with 492% up, and we have another planned OGN as well for the month of April, so we're good. POA did 125%. NWC is now kicking at 284%, and then we got a bunch of other little ones. So realistically, when it's BTC, generally you're not going to get, you're looking for 50% on BTC, 30% on BTC, but when it's when you're looking at, like, say for instance USD, you're going to get a bit more. So let's start with the chart of Bitcoin, just so you guys can see like where I expect Bitcoin to go this week. And based off of where I expect Bitcoin to go, that's kind of like what's happening with the altcoins. So like, we'll use this chart because it's not as messy. But you can see that Bitcoin kind of made that. It's making, like, if you just do a basic Elliott wave, there's two different waves that are happening here. On a higher time frame, we have a basic one from here to here to about, let's just say here, and then here, and then if this is wave 4, well, that was wave 3, then this is going to be wave 5, so we can actually potentially just go just a bit lower and into that 48. And if you guys actually heard Picasso talk last week, he's expecting something like here. And when we're seeing wave 5 could take us into there, which would also match the sentiments of what we're expecting for the US dollar. So we're expecting US dollar to kind of go up to going into the end of the month, and then we're expecting the rest of it to go, we're expecting the entire market to go up for the rest of them for the next month in April. So we can see something like this, which is a really basic 5-wave Elliott wave. So we just have to be safe when we're looking at trading, because if we're looking at USDT or USD, we're going to see a lot of altcoins really focus on going down, right? So like, I remember, it doesn't need to actually break this entire structure. It just needs to come down to like here. So let's see it. Let's see 12, and not even come down. It just needs to wick down there. It's like a 3-day. You can see like this is the last candle right here. So like utilizing some smart money there. Boom. I can see it comes down to like there. Boom. All right. So like when we're looking at how low it ends up going, like this could be it right here. So realistically, when we're paying attention to the market, we want to really focus on what BTC is going to do. What I expect BTC to do next is that it's going to take off and start running, and from there we're going to see that 78 play. But now looking at the market with fresh eyes, this is probably what's going to happen. If you also look at it, so like, boom, boom, boom. This is probably wave. This could be your wave 3 of a larger cycle. So we'll see what happens next. Like, it's kind of hard to say what's going to end up happening, right? So we want to make sure that when we're paying attention to the market, we want to pay attention to pretty much everything that's going on. 1 second, I'm going to mute all. Let them get this. How do I mute all? Yep, there it is. Mute all. Boom, boom. All right, everyone's muted. Good. All right, so when we're paying attention to where the market's going, where we can potentially go, we're going to potentially see it going up. So that leads us in towards BTC's play is kind of one of the things that really dictates where the market's going, because the other way you can look at this as well, or the other way I have been looking at this on another time frame is right here. So like if I zoom in on the 4-hour time frame, this is messy, which which is potentially that we don't break this structure here. Like this is where I potentially could see Bitcoin going down to, but like if it doesn't break this structure here, then what we should be doing, technically this should be wave one of the first wave of a potential Elliott wave, and then we should be getting down here. So if it doesn't break the structure, if it holds 50, then the next point after 50 is going to start climbing, and we can see a potential 70,000 Bitcoin by next month, right? Which this would make sense going into like the sentiments of if this was to continue going down for the rest of the month, and then we make it back down to 50 by the end of the month. And then by going into the next month, we can potentially see the high right here and then come back down and take off. All right, so we're all here to not really going to talk about that anymore. So let's talk about 3 altcoins that I see going ballistic within the next couple months. Well, not even the next couple months, like literally within the next couple weeks. I'm going to start with the technicals like I normally do, and then go into the fundamentals. So the first one is Atom. So you guys are on Cobain's list, and this is already on Cobain's list. We actually would have been able to get into Atom or Cosmos somewhere here. All right, so like shout out to you if you got into Cobain, if you were here in December, because this is where you should have been able to get into Cosmos between $4 and $7. All right, so right now we're right here. My expectation is that we're going to see it potentially go all the way up to $72, which is just an extension of the Fibonacci from this high to this low on a daily. All right, so like I'll show you. My Fibonacci's are fairly accurate, but the reason why they're fairly accurate is just because of it's this one. There we go. It's just because of the fact that we have the extensions. So this is a 2618 extension. This is a 1618, 3618, and then 4618. So like my play in terms of like there's 2 different plays that you're always doing. You can do a short term, you can do a long term. So buying Atom right now is kind of right in our trajectory what we're looking at, and it could come down lower. And this is something that is a large play, but I'm going to show you a couple of reasons why I don't think it's coming down lower. It's kind of matching the fundamentals more with the actual technicals. So here we go. Here's where if it was to come down lower into this box, like for me, I'm already in this position, so I'm not planning on, if you want to use a stop loss, you can. The stop loss is more so if it did want to come back down, and say it want to come down to like, say like here, $9. I don't see that happening. There would have to be an entire like breakdown of the entire market. I just don't see that happening. But on like a small time frame, we could potentially see it come down to $18 to $17 on a larger time frame. We could see it it's kind of hanging out exactly where it needs to right now. So it's kind of hard to see it coming down further than this, because if you look that this is your 50% 618 of the large time frame movement, which is like your weekly movement. So realistically, it's only up from here. So boom. So the targets are based off of extensions, but also just in terms of what I expect to happen. Ooh, that's not good. Let's put that back. Boom. And entry is like here. Let's use that right here. And then taking it up to like where I expect it to go is at least to 50. So like 50 would bring us right about here. And I see 50 plus. So 50 plus is, this is your extensions. So if we were to continue going up, like 72 should happen based off of my overall expectations of what I see Bitcoin doing, or what I expect Bitcoin to do for the rest of the year, which is continue going up. So you can potentially catch, I'm pretty sure it was 1850. Let me just double check. I'm pretty sure what I wanted was 1850. Let me just check. Yeah, 1850 to $19. So like right now, this is like a buy market. You can either wait for 1850. Like I said, I'm already personally in it. I'm not trying to wait, but I'll show you the fundamentals that are going on with it. and then match it with the technicals. 1635. Okay, 1635, and then $50. All right, so CoinMarketCap, we got a couple things that are happening with Atom in the next, pretty much tomorrow. So this should probably bump the market up for tomorrow for it, because you can see on CoinMarketCap we have 1, 2, 3 different things that are just happening with this one coin. But then the next thing that's happening is it's a potential listing on an exchange. So that right there, that's going to be big. And then the Gravity Bridge, which is the Ethereum Cosmo Bridge designed. This is kind of what is going to be pumping this market up until June, because once they release this bridge, this is going to be a bridge between Ethereum and Cosmos. So understanding that, like, what Cosmos is really trying to work on, they're just another platform coin that's really basically trying to be interchain or a cross-chain cryptocurrency. So that's the biggest thing. They're like, realistically, you can go deeper into it, but realistically, this is what they're really trying to work on. 100% of the roadmap is completed. So this is one of the biggest things that, like, literally, what are they really working on now? So they're just working on a lot of more little things and building off of it, building off of the platform, which will create a lot of big things for Cosmos in the next little bit. But like, I see this Gravity Bridge being the next big thing in terms of hype, which could potentially, like, riding up where the market will go, we could potentially see this getting up to 72, right? And if it gets up to 72, it'll kind of match with the timeline. So like where we are right now, just utilizing Elliott wave theory, right? This is only wave 1, right? So let me show you guys. So we got boom, boom. This is wave 1, and it hit the 50%, 618. So let me just actually don't do it from there. Let me do it from this. So this is your 50%, 618. So generally your wave 3 could potentially take you to the same size as this, or just a bit lower. So we could potentially see this from $19 go all the way up to like 50 within the next, let's say, month or two. So let's just say a month, come back down, and then complete this entire thing by July. You could see that. So look, if you look at it on the ticker, it's Cosmos or Atom. So that's 540%. So 540% is that wave, right? So wave 3 would be likely the same size as wave 1 in terms of percentage. So wave 3 could technically take us this entire way if you really like when you actually study Elliott wave. So this is what it could potentially look like, actually. So 5, let's go, that's right there. So that's 540%. So in terms of percentage, I'm not going based off pips, I'm going up based off percentages. So what I'm noticing is that percentages is actually more likely to happen. So that's 500% right there. So Cosmos can easily, this can easily be getting close to that, probably there. That would be it. So, but this is one of those things where you take it one play at a time. If you're looking at it from a point of view where you want money quickly, then you're not really trying to hold it until there. If you're looking at it in terms of a long-term hold, then this is definitely something you can see yourself holding, right? Because this is, so boom. Remember, this is like very high time frame setups. So like, I'm not looking at this and selling this in here, but I do have a play where I'm selling it in there. Now, what I mean by a play that I'm selling in there, I have short term and I have long term. My long term is staking in my Exodus, and I got it down here. My short term, I'm buying it right here, and I'm taking my TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4, and then I'm letting the rest ride. So let's say that you have, let's just say that you have 100 tokens, right? I would divide 100 divided by actually 5, not 4, and I would take out TP1, TP2, TP3, TP4. So that's $20. That's 20 tokens each, and then TP5, I would just let it ride. I'll just let the whole thing ride until pretty much what I expected to do. Let it ride until it gets up to like astronomical numbers, like 99. So that would be 20 tokens at $99 a piece. Just imagine 20 tokens at $100 a piece. That is roughly about $2,000. Which if you think about how much it costs you to buy in, 20 tokens right now would cost you roughly about, no, actually more than $2,000. Sorry. The 20 tokens right now will cost you close to that. It's like $200. So, like, and realistically, what you want to make sure that you're looking at is you're looking at the short-term plays. So, zoom right in. Here's your short-term plays, where I expect this to happen just based off of this hype. 1, 2, 3, and if that doesn't do it, this will do it, which is April 6th, which is coming right around the corner. All right. Next, Matic. Matic has been blowing through the roof. Actually, let me take a picture of this and drop this in the chat. And I'll just drop up to, there. Bring it down, 50. There we go. And I'll just give you guys up to there. And just knowing the fact that if you don't take the TP off, that's okay, because it will probably continually head up. But if you feel like this is enough for you, then that's enough for you. So I'm going to drop this in the chat right now, so you guys have access to this. Buying right now. buy market. And then if it does, if you see that, okay, so here's another thing. If you ever see it coming down, like let's say for instance that's going to start coming below this stop loss. So let me show you OGN so you guys can kind of see. All right, so OGN, if you guys got it last week, remember, so I actually said to buy it, like I think it was like up here at 85. It came just a bit lower. The stop loss is one of those things where I'm not personally looking at it as I'm looking at the soft stop loss, not a hard stop loss. For me, and I told you guys this is one of my longer term plays, and I'm going back to it just so I can review it with you guys. Like it shot up, and if you guys got in it, it pretty much shot up from down here where we first talked about it at the end of last month, and we're up 492% in 1 month, right? That's kind of it's a good amount for the first little bit. So like this second half here, let me show you where the re-entry would be. The re-entry will probably be right here, but let me just do a quick boom. And your re-entry will probably be, oh no, the re-entry is probably right here at this TP1, which makes sense, $1.15. This could potentially be the re-entry, but it could also come all the way back down into here, which is 83 cents to 85 cents. So let me just 786 and 886. This isn't a buy market. If you're not currently in this, if you're gonna buy market, like I expect this coin, I'm thinking this coin might go to like $7 is my first like major target, but I expect this to get up well over $10 within the upcoming months. And this is a small Elliott wave that's happening. So wave 1, and this could be wave 2, wave 3, and that could be wave 5. But then it came down to the ABC retracement right here. So A, B, C, like on a smaller time frame, right? Which actually just means that this potentially could have just been wave 1, and we're going into wave 3 right now, right? So Elliott wave is like one of those things that's, because depending on the time frame you're looking at it, there's so much happening with it, right? So it's very hard for you to actually dictate like which time frame you're watching on. You can watch it on all different time frames, but then you start seeing it on all different time frames. Like right now I'm looking at this, and this looks like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then ABC. But then that makes sense because this is an ABC and this is another 1. So, but this is because there's no retracement off of this. It's very hard for me to believe that this is 5 and coming back down. So what I think is happening is that this actually is 1 on a higher time frame. Let's go to 3 days. So you can see, boom, and you can see even more. Now, if I go to weekly, you'll start seeing it differently. So on a weekly, we haven't even done wave one. So like potentially, if we're looking at this as wave one on a weekly scale, and you have to look at it from the highest time frame because that's like the most accurate one for you, then this can either come down to here, which makes sense, or come all the way down into here, which also matches with where I said it can potentially go down to 86, which is your 50%. So it can come down wick into like here as low as 70 cents again, and then take off for wave three on this large time frame. Like this is weekly, so like we have to know that this is the larger time frame. This is the larger time frame bias. So now if we're looking at that, and these are all, I like to speculate and see, okay, potentially where can the market go? So this is wave one. Wave one's always going to match, wave three is always going to match wave one. So this next wave that comes about will be the one that actually takes you to what I expect to be TP6, right? On this weekly, it could potentially take you into there, that $4 range. We're currently at $1.33. I would wait for the retracement of this coin. Last week was kind of like the best thing to get into, and we can see something like this, where we can see this coin being $5 a lot sooner than October. It's more like parabolic at that point. Like I expect all these coins to start going parabolic soon because of the two run system that I expect to happen. All right, so that's OGN. Just reviewing that for you guys so you guys can hit that. All right, next, Matic. All right, so Matic is a play off BTC, not off of USD. All right, so with BTC, you kind of have to be really particular about these TPs. Like, see how this? I'm not looking at it to go up, like all the way. This is a coin that I do have in my really long term. Like I think it's down here. Yeah, it's on my long term. I bought Matic originally at down here. So like I'm very happy with it. Very, very happy with it. There. But what I'm actually expecting out of Matic right now is you can see how it's to the BTC, it's actually moving very well, which it means it's just moving faster than Bitcoin's moving. Which now going back to my original play with Bitcoin, right? With these plays with Bitcoin, if Bitcoin's heading downwards and this is holding its USDT price on the Bitcoin, it's naturally just going to head up. So if Bitcoin starts heading down to these levels at 48 and like and lower, so if you can see like it retraced down to here, that would instantaneously put anything against the Bitcoin up. So now going back to like something like Matic, all right, 4 hour. We're looking at 590, so on the Satoshi, and then this is on Satoshi. This is not on USD, right? Easily we can be seeing it get up to TP5, and this is what's currently happening with Matic. Nothing on Coin Market Cal, which is okay. I went to Polygon and I started looking up some things. And it's just pretty much the biggest thing that they want to be able to do is just being a cross chain with Ethereum and building bridges through Ethereum. So creating secure chains through Ethereum, which is really big for Ethereum as we move forward with the EIP 5059 and more things. So as Ethereum goes up in price, you can easily see Matic go up in price. But this is actually another thing that I found interesting. Where is it? Was it here? Was it? Oh, actually, you know what? That might have to go backwards. I think it was. No, it was on Matic. I'm pretty sure it was on Matic. Was it on Matic? It was on the actual Matic website. This is what I found interesting. So if you guys, nope. Oh man, where did I see it? I saw it somewhere. It was something. It was another play that I told you guys about a while ago. And I found it interesting that it was on the Matic's server. Decentralized applications. Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Well, actually, I do remember what it was, but I can't find it. Oh, blockchain cuties. All right, so the biggest thing that was the thing that was on was Aave Ghost. I remember I told you guys about Aave Ghost. I'm still holding on to that. Ghost USDT. I'm still actually holding on to this because I'm pretty confident it's gonna go up. So if you haven't got this yet, I highly suggest you do. One of the reasons why is because it's an NFT project that's built off of the Matic network, and it's really cool in terms of what it's doing. So as it goes, 1 second. Let me log on. Trust. Wallet connect. All right. No ideas about that. All right. Copy a clipboard. So we're connected. All right. So this is Aave Gochi, which is just NFTs. So these are actually NFTs that you're doing. So you can actually buy Aave Gochi on Binance and then store it on here, and it's staking. It's like at 20-25%. And you can play the game as well. So I'm just trying to log in as it does what it wants to do. I'll go back in there. Anyways, technicals look good on it, and these are the technicals that I was seeing. Is that we could potentially see. I still think this is going to happen. It's just going to take a bit longer than expected. Which, hey, this is one of those things like NWC where we might see this happen. Lots of consolidation before the takeoff. And for those of you guys, NWC, I was in NWC like back here, and I just like it was like a set it and forget it. Like I just watched it go up and down, and then it took off and ran, right? And then so like that you kind of have to be okay with some of these. Like 1 inch is another one where I actually sold my 1 inch because it shot up here. I got out, and then I didn't get back in here, but I put it into the next project that I'm going to talk to you guys about. But anyways, with Matic, here are your parameters in terms of it. As BTC goes down, this is my I expect this to hold its price. So if it holds its price, then naturally on the Bitcoin would just see it rising. The last one to do that was like ONT. So just showing you guys based off of like past experience with this. If you look at how Bitcoin drops, this was an easy play that I told you guys about last week, and it shot up roughly about 41% over the course of the week. Right, so just taking that on the BTC, like I expected to do. It looks like it's doing an ABC retracement right now, so you might see something like this, and then taking off for the rest of it. And if you are still in it, then stay in. If you want to get out, you can get out because the next play I'm going to tell you guys about is probably going to be where you want to be putting your money in, but it's more of a longer term play. Okay, here's how it goes. So you can actually just like own these things. And you can see you can actually check it out for yourself. So I imagine this will be something like CryptoKitties, and people will start wanting to get these, accumulate badges and trophies. It's a game, obviously, right? And so like it being a game, when you connect your wallet on here, so my wallet's supposed to be connected, but it says it's not. So let me do that again. There we go. So, guess it doesn't want to. So I can play now. And it's just pretty much adding every single one of these Aave Gochis are like collectibles. So this is one where I think about like NFTs. And you guys know about NFTs, like this is such a huge space right now. And finding NFTs that can potentially be something that's big is always something you want to kind of get into. This is something that can potentially be big, just because I think that people are going to like it. So that was my main play with it. So from there, last one, Lena. So actually, this is funny because I was doing some research on this, and if you go to CoinGecko, you'll see about it. It has 10 billion tokens, market cap's right there. We're only currently circulating at 2 billion with a market cap of 330 million. right? So right now, this means nothing, but like this is actually another decentralized finance, DeFi and TradeFi bridge. So understand in terms of this is more of a longer term play. This is not a short term play. There is a short term play. I'll show you. It's against the BTC, and it already might have done it, or it's currently doing it. Yeah, there's a short term play versus the BTC. I got in like here, and this is one of those ones. That's why I say it's long term. You can potentially see it come back down to entry and then take off. This is only 22%. I mean, it's better than nothing, but like this is, you'd be letting this go short term if you let it go now. Because so here's what I researched about this. Okay, so this is the exchange of linear dashboard. So here's the crypto commodities that they're working at. They're trying to connect everything to what is called LUSD, which is their stable coin that they're pretty much putting out. The other thing that they're putting out is they're actually going to be doing a decentralized finance that leads towards the NASDAQ, S&P 500, and Dow. So what they're going to be doing is creating a linked exchange where traders can actually trade indices on crypto. And yeah, this is for those of you who trade like Forex. That's really big. Like that's not like a small thing. That's going to be huge. So if you actually go on to, so right here, go on to here and listen to about 16 minutes. You listen to him talk, you'll hear this guy talk about like what he believes in terms of what he thinks is going to happen. But after digging in and doing, so that's Kevin Tay. After digging in and seeing like what they're going to be working on, I saw that and I'm like, whoa, this could potentially be big. Now, here's the other reason why it's big. It's 14 cents right now, and this is a decentralized exchange. Okay, so let me show you guys this so you guys can kind of see where we're at with these DeFi exchanges. Okay. All right, so let's go with DEX. Actually, let's go with the coins first and the coins that are exchanges. So you guys can kind of, like, the way my mind works is I look at other things that are like the same, all right? So Uniswap, $28. Aave, $349. Synthetic Network token is $16.47. PancakeSwap, $16.24. The Graph, $1.47. Sushi, $15.26. Compound, $362. So what I'm naming off are other decentralized exchanges, and you're seeing the prices of them right now. So not every single thing that is on here is a decentralized exchange, but a lot of these are decentralized exchange tokens. So like CurveDAO token, that's another one that's going to be big. But yeah, Kyber, Orin Protocol, $24. Alpha Finance, $1.80. All right, so let's take a look at Alpha Finance. All right, so we can kind of see it has 1 billion tokens. So like 10 billion to 1 billion, that's where the difference lies. The market cap would have to be a lot higher for this to actually get to where it needs to be, not Alpha Finance, but like linear finance. But I can think that this can easily get to roughly about $2 to $3, which means you're potentially getting it at 14 cents. And we could potentially see this by the end of the year, $2 to $3 aim. One of the reasons why is because you just look at the other DeFi coins that are exchanges, and you can see for yourself what's really going on with them, right? And it can look at tokenomics. So I'll take a look at tokenomics. So 10 billion. Which one did I see that had close to 10 billion? I want to say it's Synthetic Network, but I don't think it was. Nope, it wasn't that. So 10 billion. I think it might have been Kyber. It was one of these other ones that are brand new, but not. Was it Sushi? Nope. Well, Sushi Swap is actually really good. Jeez. The circulating supply. When you see this is something that really makes you want to, like, yeah, it has a food name, but like, at first I was kind of like standoffish with all these tokens that had food names. Now I'm like, give me Pancake Swap, give me Sushi Swap, give me any food name. I think more because of the fact that I'm looking at the tokenomics of it and I'm seeing what's really going on. So like this is another one. You can see 49 cents. based off the market cap. All right, so anyways, you can also look at the actual number of it. So it's number 37. Oh no, actually it was 37 yesterday. It's number 36 on the actual DeFi play. So it's slowly moving up in terms of market caps, right? So we just go by market capitalizations, and you can start seeing where it is. And so 36 Alpha Finance is 453. Kyber Network is 533. So you can kind of see where we are in terms of exchanges. Yeah, lead to the moon. The other thing that actually got me, which I found very funny, is this is actually on Cobain's list, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It's on his low cap coins, which I found really interesting. And I didn't actually take a look at his list this year. For the second list for the low caps, I've been more going into my own plays most of the time, because I find that low cap plays they're not a dime a dozen, but just so many of them. So you gotta have to figure out like why you're going into it. So like when I found this, I was like, okay, cool. But here's what I actually wanted to show you guys. So let's go to Tether Uni Swap. So when it was dropped, it would have been dropped somewhere between here, February 12th. Sorry, it was dropped like somewhere between. It was here. So it was roughly about 12 cents when Cobain dropped it. If you got it right away, you would have experienced this drop on Uniswap. If you didn't sell it, you would have got this rise, right? So now if you take a look at it, this is on Uniswap. This is a basic play where we're getting a fifth wave, and fifth wave just means it just needs to come just a little bit larger than this, right? So that's 38 to 45 cents, right? Even up to here. So this is from Uniswap. So we're potentially going into that fifth wave from this bottom, right? So let's just go from that bottom right there. So if we can see this happening, then what we're really going to be seeing is it really jumping through the roof. This is my long play because of the fact of that. So I see it and I'm like, here's my extensions, $1.10, right? Yeah, I can take a look at that. So if you're taking a look at something that's $1.10, right? Potentially what we're seeing is that we're getting into a play that's currently at 14 cents, and we might not see it here again. Because if you look at even when you look at the daily, like take a look at that, and just take a look at the lows. Like this is what I pay attention to, is are we making higher lows? Yep. Okay, well, you know what that means. That means we're making higher highs, making higher lows. That means we're ascending upwards, right? So in terms of a top, it's kind of hard to say what the top will be, because you don't have enough data information. At this point, it's just all speculation. But with the speculation that we have, boom, boom, there's your trend line right there. With the speculation that we have, we can anticipate that like this could at least hit $1. Like $1 is not a lot to ask for. This would be the equivalent of getting Cardano at 14 cents and seeing it where it is right now. And I know what that rise is like. It's amazing. So I highly suggest you pay attention to this, because so 14 cents, that's 757% up. So you can see I have no TP for this. The reason why I have no TP for this is because I really don't expect this to actually come down. I'm expecting this to continue going because of the type of coin it is. It is an exchange coin, right? If you want, read the white paper a bit more, get more into like what's going on. You got swaps, you got exchanges. It's a decentralized exchange that is also on the Binance Smart Chain, so it took itself off the Ethereum network. So that was another thing that brought down the fees. And you guys know, as long as they're on the Binance Smart Chain, that means that the fees are going to be lower because they're based off of the Binance Smart Chain. So that's something they just recently did. Next thing that's also happening is CoinMarketCap. They got an AMA on the 30th, which is 2 days from now, with on the English Telegram where you could potentially earn 30,000 Lena tokens, which is cool. But the next thing they have going on is Leaner DAO. So source. No, I'll break that down. I'll go review it again. Why BTC is having trouble breaking? It's not really having trouble breaking. It's just seasonality. All right. So when this comes, so going back to like coin market cap, so here's coin market cap June 2021. We should be getting this. Which, if you guys know like Curve DAO, like this can be another thing that could be another big play. This can easily just blow through the roof. So don't like just get caught slipping here. Don't just just buy market. So what I was saying about ONT is that if you're an ONT and you're like, yeah, I don't feel like being in anymore, and you're like, I don't want to put any more money into crypto, then you can simply just take your ONT and put it into Lena and just call it a day. And you don't worry about that for a while. Like for me, this is a long-term play. I'm going to stress this really hard. This is a long-term play. So this isn't a one that's going to be, oh, when's the moon? The moon for me is $3.64, $3.46 until there. That's when I'll start questioning where should I be selling it. It's just so you guys can see like, all right, so that's 4,000% up. Like for me, the way I treat the bull market is I'm completely patient with everything. So like I'll show you guys a couple of things like so you guys can see it, and then I'll take a look at these 3 coins, and then just explain in one big thing, Jason, why Bitcoin is not going up. So like I'll show you guys an example. Here's Polkadot. Here's extensions. Like extensions work so well, it's not even funny, and like it's almost scary at sometimes. This hasn't gone up from here. I got to make an extension on here. Uni, like it's very scary how accurate extensions are, right? All these lines were here when Uniswap was down here. Like from there to there, I got all these lines. So extensions end up being really, really accurate. Flows making its way back out. It's come up higher low. I love this. So you can see that. All right, so I'll take a look at CHZ, BitTorrent, and then I'm done. All right, CHZ is doing what it should be doing, which means nothing. So we go on a daily. Let's just go with this. All right. So that was I went to a lower target. I went all the way down here because this is technically, actually, you know what? This is technically your last down candle before the real parabolic movement. So I'll go with that one. And if that's the case, then this is where we're technically right in a great place for this coin. So I'm not going to take a look at the fundamentals because that would take a lot of requirement. But just in terms of technicals, this looks good. This is, for me, this is good enough to buy. Like I look at this and like, oh, made a higher low, and it's already, they go down to a lower time frame. You can see how it's kind of chilling out there. Now, what it can do is that it can actually just end up chilling out here for a while. And what we can do is see this happen. So that's like this, what's called known as accumulation. When you start seeing accumulation in the market, it means it's gonna, as long as it's not making any lower lows, like it doesn't break this level, then you're good to buy anytime you see it drop, or just buy weekly, or just keep on buying until it breaks out. Because then the next breakout, it needs to now, so now that we have all this, so the next breakout will be from here to here. So we got $1.68, $1.24, 177, 228, and 279. So I mean that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's in my watch list as well because they're doing some stuff with soccer fans in Europe. And it's also in Cobain's list. So this is something I will be buying. But this is, for me, this is a long-term play. If I see a short-term play, or if I see something that's more of a something that could potentially go up, then I'll definitely look at it. So what I would look for in this, like, so what I always look for is boom, boom, and then I look for it to stop accumulating, because what I wanted to see is I want to see when it's going to do that boom. So it's all about, for me, what type of hype is going to be coming out with it, or some sort of AMA or something that you have to read about. BTT, BitTorrent, I really don't pay attention to BitTorrent. I have BitTorrent, but I really don't even pay attention to it. It's not something I would rather not pay attention to. It's kind of like the honest truth about it. USD coin. I'll use Bittrex. Yeah, see, like this is very ugly. Oh wow, look at that. It did something. Yeah. So here's their. So like you can see that it kind of like just based off of the already just utilizing the extensions. So if it was to go somewhere, I need it to hold this 0.002. And if it does hold the 0.002, then I'm going to take a look here. And what I need to see is how many tokens they have. Because if they have too many tokens, then it really doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, no. See that right there? That's I need some token burning. I need something to happen for me to actually want to get this. I do like the fact of the peer-to-peer protocol that is, but see, like this Tron blockchain, any of this stuff, like any of this, like all this is ugly to me. I don't like anything to do with Tron, because it's just the best place to get into this, like BitTorrent, would have been down here, and this would have been like a risk. Like there would have been no reason for you to put a load of money in BitTorrent down here. But I mean, if it holds here, then we could potentially see it come back up, and it can potentially get as high as 8 cents. I mean, I have to do some more research with it. And if they have any sort of hype that's happening, then a short-term play can definitely happen with this, right? At this point now, if you're looking at short-term plays, then you would be looking at this from this high to this low, and then pretty much wicking into the 0.002. All right, so Bitcoin, the reason why it's not going up is because of seasonality. Seasonality, what it has to do with it? Like, that's pretty much what I've been saying, is that the US dollar needs to finish its move. And so you can see that the US dollar is heading upwards right now. And there's a good chance that we'll see the US dollar get into possibly, well, this is our next structure from here to here on a weekly. So let's take a look. We'll use this one. So that's our structure that we're looking at on the weekly. We're just passing the 50% 618 of this big structure, right? And I'm utilizing this because of the fact that I don't think it's fully taken that out, right? It can come all the way. If you look at that, that's an 886. So that means it'll come take this full candle out, which that's what I think it's going to do. For those of you that know smart money, like this is a basic 886 retracement, and at that point we'll see like the US dollar going into next week can come all the way up to here before it makes its way down. And at that point, that's actually another, like if it makes another lower W, like a W pattern, so it'll be like something like a harmonic pattern. So it'll look something like, where's harmonics? Harmonics, where are you? Oh, there it is. All right, so it look like this. Boom, boom, boom. And we can see it come into this where it could potentially make something like a cipher pattern, and it can come into this lower, like make a lower low here, and then that just makes it needs to come up to like roughly about here, break this for the end of the year. Like it could be the end of the year, going into the summer. It could be doing anything. Like it's hard to say like time wise, but it'll probably match seasonality. So we'll probably see this going close to the end of the year, and that will be the downward cycle of this, right? Because if it makes a lower low, then comes up here, it's still a lower high compared to this, and then you have a continuation downwards, right? So what I expect to happen is that we're just going to have a continuation downwards going in and then coming down lower and then doing this thing again. So with the US dollar and Bitcoin are very heavily, well, actually we wouldn't have a cipher pattern because it makes it up to here. That's like a 886 retracement. So that means you would see something like this. Something like that happen. So where it actually now still going down. Yeah, because if it stops, well, actually, if it stops here, this is a cipher pattern. If it doesn't stop there and it goes up to here, then that's an 886 retracement. And at that point, we'll either have a 382 retracement, which means we'll have a shallow retracement up to here, or we'll have a full down retracement down to like the 886 of this entire move, which is like here, which is just to the yearly open, right? And then we can see a continuation up to this 50% 618 of whatever this was. And I'm pretty sure, I think it was of this high to that low. And this is the 50% 618, which is now another high. And now would make a lower low. And if you look at, like, if it gets closer it gets, this is actually a trend line from 1985. So, and this is, I'm pretty sure this is the price channel it's in. So we got a trend line and a price channel. I don't think it's going to, yeah, I don't think it's going to beat that. So remove this drawing. Ooh, now I gotta draw it all. Yeah, so I don't think it's gonna get past that because that was a trend line and that was a trend line for both channels. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I'm gonna leave it there and we'll wrap it up. Thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow we're gonna go on over HFX and making some money in minutes. But with that, make sure you buy in and then take it easy, guys. Peace.